a top 10 list. 10 simple things you can do to collaborate better and build trust. You guys want me to run them down? It's 10 of them. So it's the top 10 list. All right. It's like I need someone to keep up here. Woo! It's like a workout. See, James, I told you this is a beautiful room. I told you I would cover the whole board by the time we were done. All right, so it's top 10 list. Number 10. Number 10. It's over here. You guys can all take your own pictures for fun. All right. Number 10. Practice active listening. Does anyone know what this is? It's very simple. We could do a live demonstration now, but that would ruin the flow of our conversation. You listen to what someone says, and then before you say anything, you kind of repeat back what they said to make sure you were listening. So you show that you respect them and you understand what they said. And if you're like me, you probably realize, oh, I didn't hear them the right way, and you figure it out. But very simple. Anyone do that? A few people. Okay, so practice active listening. Listening is hard. Jeff's going to be holding me. Jason, be quiet. So, all right. This is fun. Ask questions. I got to tell this story. Ask questions. Very simple. Ask questions to clarify and learn. Most importantly, you don't have all the answers. True story on this one real quick. We just had a big conference for worldwide technology, and my whole group, I have a team from around the globe. We all do innovation work like this. And we got together and someone did an activity that was called Just Questions, where they said, think about something, and as a team, you're going to write sticky notes. You have to write your sticky notes in the form of questions for 5 minutes. And it was phenomenal because we weren't allowed to talk. We just had to write questions, and it was amazing what we wrote down. So again, ask questions. All right. So is anyone here from development, like write code? So this is what, if you're a dev, I realized this after I kind of stopped writing code. Developers do an awesome job of leaving breadcrumbs. Okay, what's your name? You're a developer, right? Pardon me?
Annie.
Hanny. So, Hanny, dude, what did you put in the code yesterday, man? I saw what you put in the code repo when you committed your code back. What was going on there? That was really cool, man. I want to write my code that way. So developers, when they share code in a code base and they have a code review, it's amazing because we find all these ways to work together. My challenge for everyone else, how can we do that with the rest of our work? So this idea that I do some work, I share it, and then other people in my team can leave me feedback or can ask me questions about it. It takes, my team, we do lots of stuff like this, but we use a tool where we can share all of our ideation work and all of our notes, and we all look at it and we all think about it. So again, the same thing, developers and engineers, that's easy to do, okay? Thank you for getting engaged with us here too. All right, this is number 6, humble feedback. Humble feedback. What this means is you invite feedback on your ideas. So Jeff, what do you think of this idea of humble feedback? Is it cool?
Super cool.
It's super cool. Why is it super cool?
Well, what you're saying is, it's super cool. That's why it's super cool.
Okay, just did a little meta us today. But this idea, most importantly, being humble. Realizing that your idea may not be the best idea. Cool? All right. So who here wants to learn something? Anyone? Okay. So number 5, mentor and learn. So if you want to learn something, or actually let me ask the wrong question first. So who here thinks they could teach somebody something else? Experts. All right? And we already know people want to learn stuff. So my ask of you is if you say, hey, I'm really good at giving sticky note talks, or so I think, I'm willing to teach you how to do this. Jeff, you want to do this? He's like, heck no. But I'd be willing to. And then likewise, if you want to learn something, make sure you've told that to people. Because you never know. Someone who's sitting right next to you may actually be able to help you out. But if you aren't vulnerable and let people know that, they're never going to be able to engage. So keep that in mind. All right, how we doing? Halfway there. Almost done. Almost done. All right. So this one's a little weird. Be whole and authentic. Does anyone know what that means? This means understand who you are and don't be afraid to be yourself. And what I like to see is have confidence to share this with others. Meaning that, sometimes we have bad days or, we just got a lot going on. And our natural instinct is to try to hide that. And when we hide that, it's like a weight. Don't. So if something's going on, and you trust people and they respect you, be open about it, and then figure out what that means, you know? So if it's like, I've had people, if they have a family scenario, maybe instead of having them be at work and do nothing, maybe it's better for them just to not be at work and talk about that. So that goes back to, again, it's teams and managers, but the important thing is it's called being whole. So I have the confidence to, speak openly about, really how I feel and how it impacts me. All right, I got 4 more. Metaphor. We remember stories. I'm sure if there's one thing you guys will probably remember out of this talk today, it's probably the fact that I spent an hour and a half yesterday doing donuts over central Pennsylvania, because that was a crazy story. So how can we tell stories more about our technical work using metaphor? So I hope if we're doing network routing here, our routing configurations don't look like donut holes over central Pennsylvania, right? If they do, that's probably not very efficient. So how can you tell stories and make a technical explanation a little more creative? All right, I'll ask, who does this? So who supports what we call periodic reflection? So like every week or so, we stop and we say, hey, what's going well? And what could we do better? Sometimes from the Agile community, we'll call that having a retrospective. But this is this idea of just stopping to say, hey, was this good? You guys can even give me feedback on this little talk. Was this good? Or was it not good? And what could make it better? And realize that if you have the discipline to do that, it's really how you do find the best solution. Number two, visual framing. What that is, it's the idea of, almost here we are at minute 28 of our talk. Humans are horrible verbal communicators. You know that? We don't understand each other. We have language bias. So do something to visually frame your conversation. Could be sticky notes on a wall, could be drawing a picture, because believe it or not, those are more effective ways to communicate than just talking. Says the guy who's been talking for 28 minutes, hypocrite. But do something that, at least I try to make something pretty for you to look at today. And last, but certainly not least, number 1, there's one thing that you take away from this. Share appreciation. So this idea of letting people or letting groups know when they've done something that's really helped out, they've done something well, it makes everyone feel good. As the person who receives the appreciation, of course it feels good to have done that, because it's like, wow, thanks. But what science has actually shown us is that when you share appreciation with someone else, it makes you feel good too. Actually releases a bunch of dopamine and stuff in your brain, so you feel good about it. So with that, there's a top 10 list. There's a pretty picture of it. Here's the ugly picture in the room here. And with that, I'll ask you. So what do you think of all this? Just to wrap it up. So what do you think? You can take a poll. Leave it up there for a little bit. But if not, with that, I would say thank you. That's my thanks. My appreciation for all of you is for humoring us today. And hopefully, if you take things away, I would say have a goal, listen to others, ask questions, and be nice and share appreciation to the people you work with. And if you do things like that every day, you truly will be engaged, be whole, and you'll have a great time with what you do. So, thank you.